speaker preacher. Geek speaker preacher.
It is so good to be back on the channel, back live, hanging out with everybody today. So we are, the family and I are traveling. So that's why the set looks a little different, but I like it. I like it. I like it. Little bookcase in the background, got the light there as well. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Hopefully it's coming through clean for you guys as well. Let me know in the comments. And I'm just now realizing I don't actually have my comments up where I can see them. Gotta have the comments. So let me go ahead and fix that right now. Get that one right there. Got that one right there. Perfect. We got comments up, ready to go. A couple of things, quick ones to point out, man. We had a blast in the masterclass this past Sunday evening at 4 p.m. YouTube success, and I rolled out a new framework, that I've been working on for quite a while, and it was absolutely amazing to kind of see and have people engage with it and really see what it's all about. So that was really cool as well. I call it the digital dominance cycle, and it's comprised of 6 Ds that help you to dominate in digital. It's really, in my opinion, just trying to help people to really make it memorable is what I'm trying to do with that. But yeah, it is an amazing system and framework that we're able to roll out in the masterclass, and the feedback has been really good so far. We learned some things in the masterclass as well, in terms of who we need to be talking to, how we need to show up, in terms of being clear on your target audience, value proposition, all of the above. Of course, things that we've shared here on the channel multiple times, but also personally, I learned a number of things as well. Having too many different options is confusing. So we're just going to do the masterclass series in one place, which is the inside the community going forward. If you want to have access to the masterclass, you just got to go ahead and join the community. Most people did that anyway because it was cheaper. It's $47 if you bought it in the community, $67 if you bought it on the website. So we're just going to go ahead and nix the website option and just let people capture or purchase their tickets, their seats for the masterclass there. In fact, we even made that change already. So on the screen right now, you're seeing the masterclass homepage, and that actually, while it's a very similar flyer to what we had before, it is a different flyer because this is the YouTube Success with eCam Masterclass. And that's going to be January 25th, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Want to make sure you guys get a chance to reserve your seat. It says $67, of course, here on the web page, which is where we're looking at it right now. But if you click the Secure My Seat button, it's going to take you over to the Masterclass page in the community, in the How It All Works community, and then you will be able to sign up right there. So that is the simpler way that we've been able to simplify the process. Again, everything is a learning experience. And in fact, if you took the masterclass, you know that one of the last things was to dissect the data, dissect the information, to learn from what you've done. Activity yields information and data that you can now dissect so that you can do it the next time that much better. And that's exactly what we've done. We did a deep dive on what worked. I know I can tell you one thing that did work. The masterclass preview, going live 6 days of the week prior to the masterclass, was an absolute success. In fact, those videos have been wildly popular. There's so many DMs and comments and conversations that have started just off of those videos. So that has been something definitely cool to engage around as well. I see a couple of you guys are hanging out with us today. The numbers are fluctuating. It is December 24. It is Christmas Eve for many, so I don't expect a large crew to hang out with me today, and I get it. But I'm hoping that those of you that do, you come ready and prepared to ask your questions, because that's what we do here during. Yeah, that's what we do here during the coaching corner. Let me go over here. I just want to make sure that we are indeed live, public on all the different platforms and places. We are. Let's go over here. Let's go and see on Facebook. Yep, we are live over on Facebook as well. And then lastly, let's just go and take a look at LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? LinkedIn be doing some different things. So always want to verify. Yep, we are LIVE on LinkedIn as well. So all the places are working. So we're excited about that. And yeah, truly going to look to move in that new direction. Here's one thing I want to share with you today. You may see this in the coming weeks, because we're going to be doing a reintroduction of how it all works on the channel. That's going to be I think the video that's scheduled to drop this coming Monday, which is when our videos drop on this channel, is related to a reintroduction of how it all works, right? And so what we're going to be sharing with people is where the term comes from. And many of you know that it comes from Romans 8:28, but there's a philosophy that's behind it. And I've got this acronym DCEM, DCEM. I got to find a way to make that nicer. With acronyms, you want to make it something that people can remember. you want to make it something that people, can just latch onto. DCEM, DCEM. It helps me to remember what the words are that go along with the how it all works strategy and philosophy, because it's what I know, it's what I have lived. And so, because one of the things I always want to say to folks is, man, your story is like your fingerprint. There's no two stories that are alike. And so we will share that in greater detail in that video that'll drop on Monday. But steward your story with content is my mantra. It's one of the reasons why I feel led and called to help people to put content out, to leverage these platforms so that they can steward their story well. Because when you steward your story with content, you will discover purpose. That's what the D stands for. You will discover purpose. And that's what all of us want. I mean, on real talk, that's bigger than anything else than we could ever think, ask, or imagine, is to know the purpose for which we have been called into existence. And I'll just give you a little cheat code. That purpose shifts from season to season in life. So it's not like, well, I'm not working in purpose anymore because I'm not doing what I was doing 10 years ago. No, you at just the way that we all evolve and we grow and learn and expand our thinking and perspectives. We're not monoliths. We don't just stay one way. As we learn and have new experiences, as our story continues to be written, we also have more to steward. So stewarding your story is an ongoing process that you can be doing even into your hundreds if the Lord delays his time. So stewarding your story with content is part of that strategy. Steward your story with content, and from that stewarding process, you will discover purpose. And as you discover your purpose, of course, that is in and of itself a fulfilling experience. But as you discover purpose, right, you will change lives. And it is in the life changing that you will recognize this is your purpose. Sometimes you'll stumble into something, and this is exactly my story. That's why I say it's how it all works, right? For we know that in all things God works it together, because I wouldn't have planned it this way, but I recognize that this is his doing and it's marvelous in my eyes. But yeah, stewarding the story with content, letting people know, hey guys, this is my experience. I go live, I share with people what I'm learning. I go live, I tell people what's working, what's not working. I go live, I do the how-to videos. I share with people the morning motivation. I go live and I do the coaching corner or the How It All Works live show as we're interviewing different people. As I'm stewarding my story and others' stories as well with content, I recognize that lives are being changed. And then to go back, right, that's the D, I recognize that this is my purpose. So you steward story with content, you discover purpose, change lives. expand reach. This is the exponential part. Expanding reach. Oh my word. I'm super excited about that part. Like expand reach. Content gives you, it enables you the ability to serve at scale, to be able to have this video here right now that I'm streaming live from my brother's house in Florida. And a couple of you, if you are watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on LinkedIn. I can see how many are watching right now, but then that number will continue to grow over the next few weeks and months that this video is out there, because it is expanding its own reach. When you steward your story well with content, inarguably, I'm not certain, I probably said that wrong, but you will no doubt discover purpose and change lives and expand your reach. You will expand your reach. And when you expand your reach, the inevitable thing that comes out of that is that you'll multiply your opportunities. People will ask you to guest on their podcast. People will ask you to come and do a workshop. People will ask you if you do coaching. I'm just telling you the natural ebb and flow. This is the natural outgrowth of this practice, of this activity of stewarding your story with content. When you steward your story with content, you will discover purpose. You will change lives. You will expand your reach. You will multiply your opportunities. And that, my friends, is how it all works. Romans 8:28. And I'm going to be sharing some things going forward where this is concerned. There's a house full of people here, y'all, and so many different. Listen, I don't know if your family is like my family. We've got several. I have several siblings, and we have kids all around the same age, and these kids are loving the fact that they're all together. They have like a group call a group text thread that they're constantly chatting in when we're all in our different places that we call home. And so it is good to be here where they can all be together and I can just leave them to do that thing. But if you hear some noise, it's a Christmas thing. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and drop something in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Always good to be able to catch up with several of you today. I see Tracy is here. Tracy says, Happy Christmas. Sorry, I'm late. No, you are not late. You're not late. You're good to go. Truly appreciate you coming and hanging out with us today. In about 40 minutes or so, I'm actually going to move into the coaching corner, which will be inside the community. And that is going to be private today. We're not going to be streaming that part. So I decided, let me go live early to kind of hang out with my online family for a little bit. And then once we are done with that, then we will go into the community to have our other piece. So we're excited about that. I see Tracy has joined on Zoom as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I am early where the coaching corner is concerned, but I did want to go live and showcase a couple of things. Let's go here. Make sure we add it. Boom, boom. Listen. I just love that it just works like this. But yeah, these are some of the things that that's gonna be coming down the pike. Second thing that I want to make sure that everybody's aware of is that, so yes, reintroduction of how it all works. But second thing is the Masterclass series. So we had our first Masterclass this past Sunday, the 21st of December. Our next Masterclass will be on the perfect. Our next masterclass I see your comment, Tracy. She says, I'll be there. Our next masterclass will be on the 25th of January. It'll be on the 25th of January. Of course, I'm going to pull that flyer back up. You can see that on the screen right now. YouTube success with eCam. And you may wonder, what does that even mean? One of the things I was chatting with some colleagues on the eCam channel, actually, this past Sunday, right after the masterclass, I was on the stream show with DJ Strick and Alec Johnson, and we were talking about eCam being a great platform, great tool, but the goal of the people who purchase eCam is never to become an eCam expert. That's probably less than 1% of the people who purchase it are thinking from that perspective. I think it ends up happening, just like me, that you become somebody who's super efficient with the platform, but it is not your intended goal to be that sought out expert on the platform when you purchased it. You purchased it because you wanted to be successful with content. You purchased it because maybe you thought, okay, this is a great way for me to record and produce YouTube videos. Maybe you purchased it because you were like, yo, I want to be able to stream in 4K, high quality, with all the bells and whistles, with the comments and the different things that you're seeing on the screen right now. And that is all good, but those reasons are not the reason of being an eCam expert. So when I was thinking about what I'm going to name this class, I am definitely going to go through functions and features of eCam, right? Because that's what my community requested. They wanted an eCam masterclass. But I have to say, even in the title, that one of the thing that you're really looking for isn't to become an expert in eCam. You want to be proficient in it, but you have a destination you want to go to. The person who gets a driver's license isn't looking to drive for the rest of their life. Like, that's not their goal in life, is to be a driver. They drive because they have a destination they want to go to. And so with eCam, you are learning the platform because your why is big enough that you will overcome this hurdle of getting used to using a platform that will enable you to get to your goal. The goal is the real true destination that you want to get to. And so that's why I've named the class this way: YouTube Success with eCam. YouTube Success was our original masterclass, and there's going to be some tenets that will carry into this masterclass, YouTube Success with eCam. And our next masterclass in February will be YouTube Success with StreamYard. And so, because the idea is, even if you extrapolate out what does YouTube Success mean, it's content success. It's success with content on platforms, specifically YouTube. And I'm a big proponent of having your content on YouTube. But again, just as I mentioned before, steward your story with content, right? Steward your story with content, discover purpose, change lives, expand reach, multiply opportunities. And that's how it all works. This is the formula. This is the recipe that I've been cooking up on this channel for years. I'm just kind of giving you a framework, and you'll hear it over and over again to where you'll be able to repeat it with me. But understanding what people are actually hoping to achieve and be successful with when it comes onto their endeavors and pursuits with platforms like eCam and StreamYard and EVMux and Restream. It's not that they want to be the platform expert. They want to expand their reach. And so if we want to expand our reach, we want to learn what are the tools, functions, and features that are going to help us to do that. How do I, make a left turn? How do I go the distance? How do I go through a roundabout? What are the rules of the road, if you will? Thinking about your content journey as one where you're going to be collecting and picking up skills and tools in your toolbox along the way. eCam being one of them, StreamYard being one of them, YouTube being one of them. We are combining them. So yes, we went through a masterclass called YouTube Success. And next month, we're going to stack on top of that YouTube Success with eCam. And then the following month, we're going to stack on top of that YouTube Success with StreamYard. And you're going to see some similarities between the two. But I would dare say that everyone needs each one of these masterclasses, not because you're looking to be an eCam expert, but because there's going to be some practice or workflow or strategy that is going to be employed that you may be able to apply to your process, even if you're not using any one of these platforms. And so that's what we got coming up. So first of all, the reintroduction of how it all works coming up in the brand new year, 2026. So look out for that video to drop the first Monday in January. Then secondly, we have this masterclass series, which will continue one Sunday per month. I don't know which Sunday it is, but you'll have that information because we're planning them well in advance. We're actually planning for the March one now. So the first masterclass was on YouTube Success. The second masterclass is going to be on YouTube Success with eCam, and a third masterclass is going to be YouTube Success with StreamYard. But then the last thing that I want to share is we will be bringing back a live show here on the channel. And the live show is going to, in my opinion, really be the crux of my content going forward. The live show is gonna follow that same format that we did a week or so ago when I was leading up to the masterclass. Really punchy, short, just give you the information and take some Q&A and get out of your way. Hoping to keep them to be right around 20, 25 minutes. And I'll share a concept, I'll share a principle, I'll share something that you can build on, and then you can use it or you can have questions around it, and we will engage around that briefly, and then I'll get out of your way. It's really not meant to be a long and exhausting experience. My live streams tend to be that way, right? I'm at 20 minutes already right now. And there's several of you that are on the live with us today. And if you are on the live, go ahead and drop something in the comment section. I always like to know who's out there. But that format is what we're going to be utilizing as we go forward for our live stream. Then there'll be another form of content that we'll be putting on the channel as well. So reintroduction of how it all works, the masterclass series and masterclasses will be available in the community. So if you want to take them, if you want to be part of that masterclass series, there's still two options even inside the community. One option is going to be, of course, just joining as a member. That is at $9 a month. And then let me say this as well, just while I have you here and maybe you're watching this on replay, if this channel has helped you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, we would love for you to be able to join us in membership. $9 a month really just helps us to keep the bots out and keep real people in who have an investment. But then there are those, a smaller group of people that I call the inner circle, and they have joined at a different level. They have joined at the premium tier, which is what it's called inside the community platform that I use. But I call it my inner circle, the How It All Works inner circle. And I'm excited about that group. I'm actively growing that group. And so we'd love for you to be able to engage us where that's concerned. So think about that as well. Even if you're watching on replay, go ahead and leave us an email, info@howitallworks.com, or just drop a comment underneath the video. We'll get in touch with you to be able to follow up to find, how we can work better together. Yeah, but five more. I see the number jumped up from where it was to an additional 5 more people jumped on. And I just wanted to say thank you for being with us today. If you have any questions, this is the coaching quarter. This is what I like to call the middle of the week, the middle of the day of that middle day of the week. So it's the middle of the middle. And if you have any questions related to content, related to YouTube, related to StreamYard, eCam, Restream, live video, value proposition, target audience, scripting, utilizing teleprompters and lighting, workflow for producing videos, one-take videos. I don't know how many videos, I can't even count now, but the last several videos on this channel have not been edited in no shape, form, or fashion. They've all been done through through this one-take video production process that I have been working on, and I'm seeing significant success with that. So if you have any questions whatsoever on any of those things, go ahead and drop a comment in the chat. We've got about 27 minutes left in the live today, and then I'm going to be going into the community. The Zoom room is already open for those of you who are community members. Just go ahead and click that link inside the community and you can join us because the Zoom room is already open there for the community. I see 24-hour boss is with us today. Says, hey, Kirk, Merry Christmas to you all. Same to you. And I know there are many of you who are like, yo, we are busy doing the family thing today. So there's not much that we can do in terms of hanging out and chatting it up. We are really just trying to do the family thing today. And I get that as well. Totally understand. If you can't hang out, that's fine too. But I definitely wanted to come live today, see if we can answer some questions and make sure that we get some folks across the line. This is interesting. Let's go there. Let's go there. And then let's try this again. Still not working right. But anyway, I'm hoping that we'll get, so there's several of you on the live today. Go ahead and hit us up with your comments and questions if you have them around some things. All right. Now, while you guys are thinking through your comments, Tracy, I don't know if you're available to chat with, but I am looking at a couple of different formats for a new live show that I'll be putting out on the channel. Just looking at different ways to be able to do it. I don't want it to be interview based. I want it to be experiential based. I want it to be practical. So on the channel, I do a lot of how-to content of how to use StreamYard, how to use eCam, how to use Restream. And I answer those questions from a very practical perspective. Laura, what's going on with you? Laura Williams says, Merry Christmas Eve. Thank you so much for being with us today. Always good to see you in the comment section. And of course, you're over on Facebook, which is great. And I see Tracy is saying something as well. She says, give me 5 minutes and I can be. Sure, no problem, no problem. I am, again, looking to take your comments, questions, and concerns. Some of you are just kind of, you're hanging out with family. Maybe you can't necessarily pop in and ask a question, which is fine. Not going to be here long, but I am playing around with a couple of different concepts and ideas, and I would love for your feedback on several of them. So one of the ideas for the show, or for a live show, for a live experience, is to take a look at different people's digital footprint and talk about what's working and what's not working. Talk about how they're utilizing content, because by and large, many of the people that are looking to my channel for help them with platform specific questions, their bigger why is for them to be able to really galvanize their audience, and grow and engage it. The second thing is they want to establish themselves as a thought leader in their space. And then the third thing is that they're content entrepreneurs, or they're in business, period. Not content entrepreneurs. They're just entrepreneurs, period. And they're looking to have content be one of the funnels through which their customers come into the door. So you're really looking to grow and engage your audience from that perspective. And that can be really super interesting as well. So that dynamic is one that I'm really trying to play up by taking a look. We got Alicia Thomas with us today. She's coming through. She says, do you think posting daily will help one find their voice? And this is a great question. I'm going to jump on this question in just a second. But let's say we take a look at Alicia Thomas's full footprint. We Google her name. We take a look at, what comes up when we put her name in Google. Let's take a look at all her social handles and profiles. Let's take a look at the last 5 videos on Instagram and YouTube, and maybe even LinkedIn if she's there. And let's see if we can tease out of it a common thread. If we can tease out of it, what her core messaging is and who her target audience is and what her value proposition is. That's what the concept of the show is intended to be right now, is for us to be able to really engage by looking at people's digital footprint and offering advice, not to the person, but to those watching my show or, this live experience, where we basically say, here's somebody that's doing it well. Here's somebody who's, really killing it on this side of it, but on this side of they're missing some opportunities. One of the things that we would do in that show was that we would also really look at how do we get in touch with that person. What is their primary offer, and is the content that they're putting out there congruent with that? Does it match? So that's the concept behind that show, and I'd love to get some of your feedback. But Laura says this is an interesting concept. Yeah, I mean the idea is really one where I want it to be experiential. I want it to be real time. I want people to see themselves in the content. One of the things I attempted to do with the coaching corner, which is a whole premise of this particular space that we're in right now, was to be able to help people see what coaching looked like, to see what the benefits of coaching are, and for them to recognize that 99% of the people who come into my coaching sphere are not asking me how do you set up a scene in StreamYard? How do you assign a Stream Deck button for eCam? That's not what they're asking. They're coming in and they're wondering, how can I be successful in these particular areas? And it's just one of those 3. It's either they want to grow and engage an audience. They've got this passion project. One lady I work with had been trafficked. She had been the victim of human trafficking. And so there's things that she knows to look for, and that's what her content is all about. And so for her, it isn't so much she's trying to go viral. She's not trying to grow and engage. She's not trying to be a thought leader, she has a passion to serve in a particular way. And so for her, it's an issue of growing and engaging audience around this one thing. And so that's what I found in coaching that people are looking for. Second thing, of course, and I mentioned them before, is that some people do want to become a thought leader in their space. And it's like, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I get content to help me to do that? How do I leverage these platforms? Okay, yeah, eCam can record very easy. I see what you do with it, and I understand that that's possible. But now what are the other steps? What are the intangibles, the non-technical things that I need to do? And so those are some of the conversations that I have. And doing the digital footprint piece, because I think one of the things that is missing when we talk about these platform specific how-tos and practices, right? Strategies, it doesn't capture the full picture. Working with another person, it just became very clear that while on YouTube he had done all this stuff, that did not translate to any of his other platforms. In fact, in his other, he's a chef, right? He's a chef, and he has a very specific reason why he's a chef and why he's passionate about meal prep and different things like that. But on all the other platforms, YouTube, he was the chef, but on all the other platforms, he's a data officer. Like he's a data administrator for one of these government contractor companies. And so it was like, there's this huge disconnect. You go to YouTube and you see all this cooking and, all this stuff, but none of that translates to some of the other platforms as well. And I'm like, you're confusing your audience. And so we would look at those things. Is there congruence? Is there branding? Is there, some seminal words that we come away with when we engage with a person's digital footprint? So that's the concept that's behind it. And I'm excited about it. But again, just trying to throw it out there, float it out there with those that are watching today and see what you guys are thinking. Now, with that said, Alicia did have a comment. It says it's crazy today. What's going on with my comments? All right, let's see what we got here. We're going to fix it right here in front of you. So right now, this thing is in front of my face, right? So Command Shift D. Yep, there we go. So now you're seeing my whole screen. You can see this thing is in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to go to the wheel. I'm going to, let's do text box that shrinks. Now that I've done that, I don't think I want that. Let's do text box that truncates. Okay. So let's make it smaller. Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, but I do want this size of the text to get bigger. So that's not really doing it for me. Let's go dynamic. Let's do dynamic again. Now it's doing what I wanted to do. So it's staying within its borders. Let's try another comment. That one worked. That one worked. That one worked. Okay, so now that we've done that, Command Shift D again, we're back to regular mode. Okay, so Alicia says, do you think posting daily will help one find their voice faster? Posting daily help one find their voice faster? I think, okay, so in a roundabout way, yes, but not just because you're posting daily. It's really going to more so be because you're reviewing daily. That's the better way to say it. Reviewing daily will help one to find their voice faster. Reviewing daily will help one. I think that will help one to find their voice faster. Reviewing daily. So last week I did a live stream every day of the week as we were leading up to the masterclass. And every day of the week, I had to review that video to come up with a better title than the one I had originally picked, to come up with chapter markers and a proper description and a thumbnail for that video, because I didn't want the generic one to just stay out there. So reviewing those videos daily helped me to recognize a thread, helped me to recognize the themes, helped me to recognize what I'm doing. Most people, when I get them in coaching, say to me, I don't watch back my own videos. I can't stand the sound of my own voice. And so I would challenge you not just to post daily. I would challenge you to go back and review daily. Review, I don't know how many, 'cause at least you've been doing this for a while. Maybe you're not asking this question for yourself, but I don't know how many videos you have, but I would imagine you have a lot, a good amount, a good number, maybe 30, 40, 50, maybe 4 times that. But if you have at a minimum of 30 or 40 videos, you got enough videos that you can go back and review. Put the video on 1.5 speed, 1.5x, so that it's a little faster, and listen to yourself. Watch the screen, take a look at what the content looks like, take a look at how people are engaging. If it's live, if it's not, that's fine, but you can take a look at the comment section below. Watch it, listen to it, right? Put earphones in and listen to it, because there's something intimate about listening in your earphones. And you catch inflections, you catch tonality, you catch emotion when you're listening to it, not on speakers, but in your earphones. That you'll definitely gain more insight and perspective. But will you find your voice faster? It is hard to say, because I have not, and I want to be clear, this is not me trying to get you to jump into coaching. This is me just giving you my honest opinion, because this year I've paid for more coaching for me than I've ever paid for in my life. I'm in a mastermind group that I meet with every week. We met Monday afternoon as I was driving for Christmas. And so we met, and it was a phenomenal experience. I'm in a coaching program with Omar El Takouri. As many of you know, that I'm in his inner circle coaching program. It's phenomenal. And we meet every Tuesday. I've also taken challenges from different other coaches and leaders, just learning their ways and understanding more. I'm saying to you, one of the cheat codes for finding your voice is for someone to call it out of you. That has been my experience, is somebody calling it out of me, somebody seeing more in me than I could have ever seen in myself. And when they say it and my response is one of confusion, everyone else in the room is like, no, Kirk, that's you all day. Like, I don't even know why you're fighting them, because we all know that that's you. Like, I don't know how and when I give in, because it always is a process there where I'm like, I know better than everybody else. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that's like this, but when I finally give in, I'm like, okay, this feels natural. This comes across like as if I'm speaking in my native tongue. And so those are the things that I think would be absolutely beneficial and useful. And I think, definitely I would recommend a coach. I know that your question was, will posting daily help you find your voice faster? I think it will. If you couple it with review, you will find a norm, you'll find a sweet spot. But it is difficult to have, clarity, laser clarity on what your voice is without somebody calling it out of you, at least somebody confirming it for you. And so that's where coaching is concerned. Coaching is really good, because the coach isn't a family member. It's not a friend. It's not somebody who's, impressed with who you are just because of who you are, right? A mother cannot coach a son, because the son can do no wrong in that mother's eyes. I don't care how strict a mother they are. That's still their son. So that mother sees that son with a certain level of awe and reverence and wonder already. I'm talking about a coach. A coach is going to be somebody who's like, no, you've been trying to shirk this. You've been trying to duck dive this, but this is what it is. This is who you are. This is what you need to be doing. And so I'm not saying it has to be me, but I will say this. Go back and take a look at where am I at here? Go back and take a look at the show from this past Sunday, right? I just put it on the screen. It's howitallworks.com. This is the show, 60K a day. Here's how. The reason why he was able to come up with that is because of coaching. And it says right there, $750 coaching to 60K days, Dr. Myra Edmonds on content strategy. Let me be clear. He says it like 50 times. We both say it several times in that episode. So that's why I want you to go back and watch it, because it's not me just answering your question. This is me telling you this is a strategy, this is a belief that I hold. Coaching is the differentiator. And this gentleman that we had as a guest on the show, Dr. Myron Edmonds, he shares that, and it was an amazing conversation. Definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to go and check that out. If you haven't already, definitely go and check that one out. All right, but I thank you for that question, Alicia, and I hope that you're still here, and I hope that you got something from that. Florence Donald is here. I see you here on YouTube, but I don't see you in Zoom, which is okay. It's not quite time yet. We got about 10 more minutes before you have to jump in Zoom, Florence. But we'd love for you to be able to jump in there. Hello, Brian, Tracy, AT. I see everybody saying what's up to everybody. Grandpa David is in the live. What's going on, David Hunt? Thank you so much for being here today as well. He says, hello, everybody. And then Micah Flemings comes through, says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. We're getting into, we have double digits on the live right now, and I'm excited about that. You guys got about, 8-9 more minutes to get your questions in. If you have questions about content, about, that's such a great question that Alicia asked, and I hope that it was meaningful for others to hear my response, just my natural, knee-jerk response to that question right here in the moment while we're live on YouTube and on Facebook, because, Laura's here with us as well. For some reason, comments are not coming through from LinkedIn, so I need to really check in over there a little more regularly in order to ensure that I'm not missing anything. Because I do want to be able to respond. If somebody's live with us on LinkedIn right now, I definitely want to be able to respond. So let me see what we got here. I don't see any. Let me see here. NYC, Egu is in the chat. eCam creates opportunity. Yes, he said it. Okay, eCam, Egu, man. And then Markello Arcele is on the live with us over on LinkedIn as well. Wow, that's crazy, man. I really wish these comments worked, y'all. My apologies to the LinkedIn crew and not being able to see these comments real time. But I just want to shout out my guy, Egu. I want to shout out Marcelo Arcele for coming through and hanging out with us over on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's such a great platform. But I just wish that some of the pieces were working so that we could work with that a little bit better. Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions? As I mentioned, so Tracy, I know you popped up, you were on camera for a second, and then I was trying to respond to a couple of questions and just kind of giving more of the concept of the show. So you went back turn your camera back off, which is fine. Listen, but I just wanted to kind of get a feel for the thinking around that new show idea. So I don't know if you heard what I said there, but
I did, but I've just lost my sound. Bear with me one moment.
oh, my bad. I went to another scene where I was muted. That was me, Tracy. That was me. Yeah. Thank you,
I
Florence.
thought my earbud had died. That's all right.
No, thank you,
I can hear you
Florence.
now anyway.
Florence said you just went mute. So I think I went to a scene where my microphone was muted. So that's on me. This is why it takes a
That's
whole
all right.
team. But yeah, I was saying that the concept of the show is one where I take a look at the whole digital footprint, because I think that this is the thing that I really want to drive home in 2026 is that success with content isn't going to be one piece of the puzzle. It's going to be many pieces of the puzzle. It's going to be looking at the bigger picture, which is the digital footprint, which is why that's kind of one of my signature things. So I just feel like that's where I end up. Every time I get into coaching, every time I get a chance to engage folks, we're talking about far more than the nuts and bolts of creating content. or, how do I stay consistent? What should I make a video on? How do I analyze the analytics? Even though those things are important, it's always the bigger picture where we're experiencing exponential results and success, because that's when we can really hone in on why a person creates content in the first place. And for some of us, it is to make the money, and that's okay. But we just want to be honest about why are we approaching this in the first place. So those are the things. And thank you so much, Florence, for sharing that you can hear us both now. That's the desire, is that we both be heard. So thank you for that. Yeah. So any thoughts on that, Tracy?
I think it's a great idea. A lot of the nuts and bolts, as you call them, there's so much stuff on YouTube about that. How to set up your channel, what button to press here. There is just so much stuff available already. There's not enough out there about, well, what to do next. How do you take that out to the next level? How do you look at all the other channels? How do you see what other people see? And I think that's where you're focusing, isn't it? The what
It is.
people see in a more rounded way. And it's something I hadn't even thought about until you were discussing it a few weeks ago. And I did go and Google myself, and then went, because it kind of looked okay-ish.
Hey, listen, you're so right. That video was one of these coaching corners where I put that challenge out there to people to say, have you Googled yourself? And that video I'm still getting DMs from that. I'm still getting people emailing info at how it all works to ask more questions, people going to my website and taking the questionnaire about the digital footprint and seeing how they stack up, seeing what their score is, stuff like that. There's a lot of interest there, because I think even from a perspective of a non-creator, right, just a professional in your own sphere, what your digital footprint is and what's available is something that you get to own. And so having ways that people can tangibly look at that and see a glimpse of themselves, essentially, what I'm hoping for in the show is for people to see me taking a look. And I'll probably go, I'm going to do the clickbait thing. I'm going to play the YouTube game. I'll probably look at the big name people out there. I probably do like the Marquise Brownlees and the Peter McKinnons in terms of the creator world, right? Because they're huge, larger than life names. But I would also do people like Barack Obama, people like Bill Gates and people like those, because they're such household names. It's going to be interesting for us to take a look at them. Plus, the truth is, those people will probably never message me to say, hey, leave my digital footprint alone. But I do want to showcase like what's working and why it's working, and what nuggets of wisdom we can glean for our own digital footprint. And so that's the impetus behind it. That's the thinking behind it. But I thank you for that feedback. I think Florence has a comment here as well. She says, few creators get into how to think and execute strategically. And this is great, but I would even take it a step further, that it goes beyond being a creator once we look at it from the perspective of, a digital footprint. So Joe Rogan, he's a creator because he's got a very successful podcast, but would he consider himself a creator or just an entrepreneur? I don't know. I think he would more, the way he has staged himself is more applicable or amenable to being just an entrepreneur. I shouldn't say just to being an entrepreneur, which I think a lot of people esteem somewhat higher than a creator. But I think creator is a misnomer. Everyone has a digital footprint, right? Whether you like it or not. It's a person that was in the pilot program. She'll share her own story at some point in greater detail, but she just got a new job, and some of the stuff that you can find when you Google her name, the job said to her they were concerned by some of the stuff that comes up when her name is Googled. And it's that kind of thing that I really want people to take it and, pay attention to. It's whether you want to be a creator or not, this thing can have real life, tangible impact if you're not careful. And it's even for Yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say how I noticed mine had changed over the years because about, oh, I don't know, 25 years or more ago, I Googled myself in an attempt to prove that I was more well known than my brother. And I was quite horrified at what came up because he was a lord and he was running a big business. He was doing extremely well for himself, whereas I was busy hanging out at classic car shows, partying on the night before, getting a bit drunk, and I was life and soul of the party. But what came up, it was a good job I wasn't applying for a job. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
So yes, I was more famous than my brother, but more for being a wild party animal than I was for anything professional.
Wow.
But now I think
Wow.
I look at it now, and I mean, you had a quick look, didn't you? And
Yeah, I
I
did.
think it's improved quite a lot.
It has, and I think this is an area that I've stumbled into, and this is again why my that strategy about how it all works. Steward your story with content, and you'll discover purpose, change lives, expand reach, and multiply opportunities. But the thing that happened for me was I really just wanted my name. So there's a very well-known, popular poet with the name Kirk Nugent. He's actually worked with Tony Robbins and all these big name public speakers and leadership trainers across the world. But he's also in his own right is a public speaker, a trainer, leadership, and thought guru. And so his name, he has kirknugent.com. This is why mine is Kirk R. Nugent. And so one of the things for me was just a matter of, okay, well, he's not doing anything on YouTube. So he has a little presence, but not much. So my whole point and purpose was like, I just want to edge him out. I want to come up. When you type in Kirk Nugent, I want to come up. I don't want to see his stuff. That was the whole purpose. And then I realized by kind of going through that process and being successful in doing that, even though he's still very much a more popular person in real life, digitally, in terms of our digital footprint, he hasn't been as intentional. So I've been able to really round the corner. And if you Google just Kirk Nugent without the R, you're going to get me for the first couple pages. And so that was what I was trying to do. And then I realized that that was something that other people wanted to do as well. They're like, hey, how do you do that? And there's a simple philosophy around it. It's content, but it goes deeper. But the basic thing is it's content. The more content you put up, the more things that are searchable, and when you're searchable, those are what these platforms will return when you put in that name. So those are the pieces that just kind of really made sense to me, and I'm realizing the impact of it or the opportunities that have come from it, that kind of thing. And so now being able to have a show where we really do that deep dive. Here's a person who has regular leads coming in, constantly guesting on different platforms, speaking, facilitating workshops, doing trainings. Their digital footprint is working for them. They don't have to pick up the phone and beat the pavement to make the phone calls, and they are seen as an authority in their space. And they've really put together their own digital HQ, which is their website online. Now, how did they do that? Why does that work? That's what I want to really dial into in that show. And so, yeah, it should be interesting. And I don't know exactly when I'll launch it because I'm just inundated with stuff that's going on right now, but excited for this new year and some of the new things we're going to be rolling out. But I wanted to give that as a backdrop for those that are watching with us today. Several of you are still on the live, and it is time for our coaching corner session in the community, right? In the community over in school. For those that want to join us, if you are a member in the school platform, we've had so many people that joined the community over the last week or so because of the masterclass that we had on Sunday. So many people joined the community so that they could get the discount of the masterclass. Well, now you're in the community and you have the ability to join us online today. So excited for several of you to be able to come in and hang out with us. I hope that you will do that because it is time for the coaching corner, our bi-monthly session where we're able to come aside, ask questions, share updates and wins if things are working for you. So we want to be able to do that. Let's go here, copy that. I'm actually going to post something in the community right now. But while I'm doing that, Tracy, anything else that you got going on, or any milestones you're hitting, anything that you're doing as we're closing out this year and getting ready for the new one? Anything new coming up in 2026?
Yes, I've cut back on my time in my little part-time job I was still doing. I'm taking 2 months off, in fact,
Oh,
to
wow.
get my act together and take a bit
I
of a
love
break.
that.
And because there's things that I'm still way behind on that I still want to do. So rather than put a load of pressure on myself, I thought, right, I'm going to step back from that for a little bit. And I still want to get that course out there. I have
Yeah,
made
I
a
love
start
it.
on it. And just generally stand back and focus and get all my ducks in line, as we say over here. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take a proper break over Christmas as well.
A proper
So
break. I think that's a
Christmas to New
great
Year,
idea. Yeah.
I'm going to sleep a lot, eat a lot, and just basically chill. So closing in on 27,000. So I'm hoping that will tick over. Well, that should tick over within the next couple of days or so.
Yeah.
So
You
on
said how many
subscriber
thousand?
front,
20,
getting
28,
close on
29?
27,000. It's
27,000.
20,
Okay.
I'm at 26,600 and something at the moment. So by the end of the
Man.
year, we should be well past 27,000. And I've got a list to last me forever of people who've agreed to talk to me for the other channel, including
Oh,
a
man.
lovely guy who has invented and launched a new British brand of car.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, it's out there now. I think they've sold the first, I don't know. I think they've got a backlog of orders. I know that they're all
Oh, my
hand built
word.
and they're only going to go up to 200 a year. I think they're going to maximum out at, because everyone's going to be hand built. All the parts are British, and he used to be a conductor. How did that
Wow, man,
happen?
that is amazing. Conductor, like a concert or orchestra conductor.
As in, yep. Even the ear
Yeah.
knob in the car's even based on the design of his baton. So, because it's perfectly
Wow.
ergonomic, of course. If anybody wants to look it up, it's the Wells Car Company, WELLS, because his name is Robin Wells. So sometime in the summer, I shall be speaking to him once he's fulfilled his obligations to the motoring press. So yes, I've got some really interesting people back to talk to, from him right down to small crafters, filming for YouTube and selling in little shops. A lady who's just starting out on YouTube, hasn't even pressed a button yet. So both ends of the
Wow.
scale. So I've got a great long list lined up.
That is
And
amazing.
yeah, this couple of months off, that will give me a bit more time to get that organised, get the dates booked in, including you, Kirk, if you're still up for it.
I'm still up for it.
I want
I
your
would.
backstory.
I half thought maybe you were talking about me, but then you said invented a new car. I was like, nope, that's not definitely not me.
No, but
So
I'd love your
no, but I'm
backstory.
excited about that.
The idea of that, well, the idea of that channel is to inspire people to, see people's backstories and how they got and ended up doing what they are doing now,
Right.
from what could have been a previous job or a hobby or
Yeah,
whatever. How
yeah.
does that
I've
then
had a whole other
transition to what
career.
they're doing now? Yeah,
That's
so it's
so
to
good.
inspire people with other people's stories. That's the idea. So
I
yes,
love that,
we'll
and I
figure out
love
how to
that.
get
Like,
in.
your main channel is at a level now where where you can branch out a little more. And I love that you have a channel where it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not really certain where this fits, so I'm just going to park it over here. I think that's a great practice. But as long as you are not putting pressure on yourself to grow that in addition to the other things that
I
you're doing, and
think
being a little more specific
I'm gonna
on.
do I'm gonna do what's fun and what satisfies my curiosity. And if I'm curious about it, maybe other people are. But it will go where it goes. I mean, I do want to be a little bit strategic about it in planning
No,
it,
definitely.
but not putting pressure on myself to get even one out a month necessarily.
Yeah.
Because it is growing very, very slowly already. I just want to make sure I put out one real good one when I'm ready. So I'm not going to do all this consistency thing that we're supposed to do.
Listen,
Really.
it's
It's going to be
one
just
of
ad
the
hoc and when it fits. Because I
things
can't
that
neglect the
I
main channel.
oh, no, can't neglect the main channel. One
Well, I
of the things
can't
I
because
thought was,
it's my livelihood. So
oh,
the other
yeah, yeah,
channel
yeah.
is so.
One of the things
Yes.
for
I've
the
always loved doing it.
podcast, the How It All Works podcast, we have I think we're right around 24, 23, 24 episodes. We have 25 up to the 25th episode recorded. Just hasn't been published yet. I think we have 2 episodes that have yet to be published. So those will help us to round out the year and bring us into the new one. But at 25 episodes, that's a good amount of episodes. It's like half of the year. We started in July, so it's episode 25 that's going to be dropping. I think it's that first Sunday in the new year, and it's still growing fairly slow, and I'm not frustrated by that at all. But one of the things I have found very interesting is that people who have found the podcast have gone back to watch previous other episodes because they've received so much value from the one episode. They're like, wonder what the rest sounded like. One gentleman messaged and said, I have watched this episode 3 times, and this on a whim decided, let me go and watch another episode before watching it a 4th time, and found that other episode to be valuable as well. So what I know is that the content is valuable. It just hasn't necessarily found a larger audience yet. The algorithm is probably still indexing, still doing different things, and maybe I can do some things to tighten up the search engine optimization and the packaging of it as well. There's always room for improvement where that's concerned.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
need
of
to
that, a lot of this
look
stuff
over
is
mine
what
again.
we spent a good amount of time on this in the masterclass on Sunday. It doesn't have to be a complicated thing, but it definitely needs to be part of your strategy. So your audience is always looking to talk with you, but that
Yeah.
kind of thing is probably where I could do some more work. But I'm very encouraged by those who have found it and watched it and said, man, this was really good. So that has been really encouraging. So it's just a matter of, so we continue doing what we're doing, but now it's an issue of let's figure out ways that we can put it in front of larger audiences and we can grow those numbers up. Still doing the collaborative thing between podcast channel and my main channel. That's been good. At least I know my main channel audience has been seeing it and being able to watch it. But what I've also noticed is that those 12,000 or so people that are subscribed to my main channel, they're watching the podcast on the other channel, but they're not subscribing because they just feel like, oh, it's still Kirk. So there's no reason for me to subscribe because I'm going to see it. So you see, there's that little bit
Yeah.
of a thing there. It's like, okay, I see them going over and watching it, but they're not necessarily subscribing on that channel as well. So probably that's something I need to make a call for. It's like, hey, some of you are watching this and you're from my regular audience over on Kirk R. Nugent, but this is a different channel, how it all works. And we definitely want to make sure you are subscribed here as well. So probably need to start putting that in some of the videos and just being a little more specific on that. But this is the whole process of being in this game. It's continuous improvement and tweaking, making the adjustments necessary so that we can be successful. Oh, Florence is joining us in Zoom. Excited for that. Let's see. Anybody else? We got a couple of you guys on the live with us still. I'm waiting for us to hit critical mass inside Zoom before I disconnect the live stream. So Florence, welcome. What you got? Any comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want to share as we get ready to close out 2025 and looking towards 2026? I know you're still muted, but I figure you can hear me.
I can hear you. I'm getting it together over here.
No worries.
I
Listen, it's
as
Christmas Eve. Everybody's getting it together.
it
I've got presents to wrap.
so you gonna give Florence no makeup, looking crazy. It's all
Oh, you'll be
good. It's a
fine.
real
You'll
girl
be
help.
fine.
So as I
You look
wrap
great,
up,
Florence.
thank you, ma'am. As I wrap up 2025, I'm planning. I shouldn't say because you don't know. I'm planning for February, which is my annual summit. I'm so
That's
excited.
right.
Got almost all of the instructors dialed in so that the rest of the planning can proceed. For that, would love to expose more people to that opportunity because there are going to be people like Kirk Nugent teaching. Just saying.
Let's go.
You want to know about your digital footprint and how to get out there? You may want to know about this because he's gonna be
Yeah.
giving it to the people,
Let's
as the saying
go.
goes.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited.
And just
I love what you do
I'm
every February. I love what you do. So it's
every
gonna be exciting.
February. Every February it has a specific goal, purpose, and a target. And until I'm given the clearance to stop, I will continue.
There you go.
So that's where we are. And of course, building out, being very active in school, not only in the How It All Works community, in my community, and a couple of others, being very, very intentional and active there. I'm the baby channel, as I call it, just crossed 500 subscribers, but I have not necessarily been aiming to grow subscriber counts. I want to reach people who are destined to hear the message I have, and that's my focus in helping them.
Yeah. Listen,
You know,
that's
when I
a
got the
really
message
good
that said
metric.
you can fill a, with this subscriber, you can fill a jumbo jet. Well, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's
500 is a
great. That's
lot.
lovely. I think it's great. I at the same time, it's really about, for me, taking people through the transformation. Just a short story in respect to that, I was sharing with someone yesterday and just kind of really telling them about all the stuff that's happening in my life. And they're like, how do you stay calm in the midst of all of that happening? My systems, the workflows that I teach every week, my systems. I would be somewhere hugging myself if I didn't have them.
Fetal position. Oh my
I don't
word.
even know if it would. Yeah, fetal position, whatever. But yeah, the men with the little white coat would come get me.
Oh my.
So I want to help people, go through that transformation of not just feeling good for a moment, but when the days are hard and long and it's difficult, really having workflows that they can follow. I learned this principle as being in the Navy. It's not that you do it so you get it right. You do it so much that you can't get it wrong.
That's gold.
That's a very different way of thinking.
Very
It's
different way.
not that I put out enough videos so that I do them right. I put out enough content so that I can't get it wrong.
Wrong. That's
Ever
that's such
served
a
in the
great way.
military, you understand that.
Yeah. That's a great way to have just, because Alicia's question earlier was like, if I were to post more regularly, would that help me to find my voice? And I was like, well, it would help you in a lot of ways. I don't know if it would help you to find your voice, but I love the reframe of it. You're not doing that to get it right. You're doing that so that you can't get it wrong. And I think that is a great way to frame it. So that's good. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
For everything that we do, right? All of us have expertise and knowledge, skills, background. We all have something to contribute to humanity. The
absolutely.
trick is, do we get to the place that we understand our systems, our workflows, not our goals, not our thoughts, not our dreams, not our desires, not how we feel? None of those things are relevant. Do our systems support so that no matter what is happening in our life, we can keep going and not get it wrong? Now, I think back to not only my experience in the military, but so many of the people in my lives whose life is in the military and has been. The reason the success is there, even when people don't see it and they're very quiet about it, is because they practice and they get it can be a half a millisecond of something right.
Right.
So,
Yep.
because at that half a millisecond is critical to whether lives are saved or not. If that half a
So true.
millisecond in delivering your message is critical to you being able to get the message to the person it's designed for, then you will continue to do it and improve for however long it takes to get there.
Yeah, there's
And it
so
the
that is
vanity
such a
metrics won't
good
matter, the
no.
beating your chest won't matter. None of that will matter. It will mean absolutely nothing unless you're seeing what I'm doing is so critical because I am specifically put on this earth to touch these people, to do this thing, to help them in transformation. And I will practice it until I can't get it wrong.
That reframe is such a great one. There's a first I want to say hello to Steve. Steve is just joined us in the Zoom room as well. What's going on, Steve? I don't know if
Hey, Steve.
you can unmute and just say what's up real quick. Listen, everybody's doing something different. It's Christmas Eve, y'all. So I just want to say a word of thanks to those that are here in the Zoom room with me, and then I don't know, 10 plus, was it 15 or so? I can't count. Between all the platforms, we got a good amount of people that are watching right now, and want to just say a word of thanks to every one of you for even just, putting us up on your phone and leaving it to the side while you're cooking the meal or while you're, engaging with family or whatever it might be for today. This is the Christmas Eve, one of the holidays that is celebrated quite literally the world over. So we're not just talking about the states, which is Thanksgiving. There's different countries do Thanksgiving in different ways, but with Christmas, this is one where it's celebrated the world over. Over on Facebook, my good friend RK3 Robert Kennedy III is saying Merry Christmas. Same to you, my friend. Thank you so much. And then Steve says, "Hola." What's going on, man? Thank you so much for being
Hola.
with us today. So it's
You
always
know,
good to be
Steve,
with. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, in addition to Christmas, I don't want to, I won't say it this way. I also want to just recognize that there are others. I would just say Happy Hanukkah. You're going through that season.
That's true. That's true.
Happy Kwanzaa. You're about to go into that season. So
Yep.
there are
Yep. Yep.
many
Yeah.
Christmas, this
Cultural
day, and
celebrations. Yes.
separations are all essential and important. I often say to people in the inclusion and belonging world that I operate in, we all share the same earth and the same air. And when we remember that, we will be inclusive and we will know
And
that everybody belongs.
we will be better to one another. And better to
Yeah.
ourselves as well. It's a really good
Better to
distinction.
ourselves.
Better to ourselves as well. Like you, yeah, yeah. I love what Tracy said. Listen, to close out the year, she's gonna take a break. She's gonna sleep in. She's gonna eat some good food. I love that.
I
I
love
think
it.
we should have that as look at that. Come on. I think we should have that as part of our normal routine, our flow, our scheduled diet should always have these pauses and breaks to rejuvenate and to just kind of refresh ourselves. It isn't some it doesn't mean that you're lazy. It just means that you're recharging, and I love that. I think that we need to normalize that kind of thing. So that's a great thing to think about as we get ready to close out this year. Steve says the only thing that can separate us is our egos. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We're
Come
touching
on,
on some
Steve.
stuff today.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's the only thing that separates us. It causes us not to see. It causes us to other people, right? It causes us to put them in the
Hmm.
category of other. And so, but yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Snap, snap, snap. Let's go. Steve's coming through with the comments in the comments on Zoom, so I'm putting them on screen so that some of the folks on the other platforms can see as well. Anybody else? Listen, there's almost 20 something people watching, and we're getting ready to close it out here on the public side of things. But I wanted to see if there's any other final comments, questions, notes. I know several of people are just saying Merry Christmas. That's cool too. But I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say one or two, share your comments before we close it out for today. There's 7. I see 7 likes as well. I like that. Thank you so much for your likes, hitting that thumbs up button. But anybody else I'm looking over on LinkedIn, sometimes the LinkedIn numbers don't come through readily. So I'm always looking over there to make sure that I haven't missed anything. A couple of people that are watching there, they've commented a couple of times, but I don't see anything new. So maybe they're okay over there. Oh, Egu says eCam creates opportunity. Come on, I would agree with that as well. Egu, thank you so much for being with us and rocking with us over on LinkedIn. I have 1,000 questions, all in good time. Listen, all in good time. But you're gonna have plenty of time to at least ask a couple of them here in just a second. But listen, with that, I think it's a good place to land. So let me just say, for those of you who are watching live, we went over a number of things today in our impromptu coaching corner live here on the channel and on several other platforms as well. Couple of updates that we were sharing in terms of how it all works and my content and some of what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be focusing on that. We gave a little bit of a recap of what the masterclass looked like and some of the lessons learned from my perspective as well that we've incorporated into the next version. So the next masterclass is going to be on the 25th of January. YouTube success with eCam, and I'm excited to be able to share that with you. I do think it's going to be a great class, and we're going to be able to really dive deep on some of the functions and features as they pertain to meeting your goals, and you get to set what the goal is. So that's what makes it wildly personal. So if you click that link, that says reserve my seat, it's going to bring you back over to the community. That's one of the things that we learned. Dr. Otang says Merry Christmas to you. We want to say Merry Christmas to you as well. Other thing to be mindful of while you may have some downtime is to go back through and see what episodes you missed in terms of the podcast, the How It All Works podcast, howitallworks.com. Head over there and you'll be able to see that. We're having some issues with one of the plugins that we have for the channel that creates the watch page. So I'm working on that, but at least you still have some of the videos here on the main page. And if you're looking for some more of the videos, just simply click on where it says watch on YouTube and you'll see all of the videos are there. Literally the entire playlist from start to finish. How many is in that playlist? See, yeah, there's 25. Look at that. There is 25. I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah, so we're at 25 right now. We're not even waiting till January to get to 25. We're already at 25. That's amazing. So wanted to make sure that you guys knew some of those things. And then how I wanted to land is by talking about what that reintroduction piece is going to look like. So we'll drop another video this coming Monday, which is I think the last Monday of the year on the channel. I think that one's going to be about Stream Live and Stream Deck. They've got a whole new streaming profile that is now available. So I'll be talking about that. But that first Monday of the year, we'll be talking about the reintroduction of how it all works, just making sure everybody understands. Every now and again, you got to do some station identification, ensure that everybody understands what they're listening to and that they're on the right seat, on the right plane, and we're heading in the right direction. So that is what that's going to be about. And it comes down to this simple little acronym that I've come up with, DSEM. Steward your story with content, and that will help you to discover your purpose. And discovering purpose always is confirmed by the lives that you're having impact on, the transformation you've been able to facilitate. And that is the C, right? The discover purpose, change lives, expand reach, and then multiply your opportunities. If those are things you're interested in, you want to keep it locked right here. And we hope that you have a Merry Christmas. If we don't see you next week, that you also have a Happy New Year. Grace and peace, fam. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Later.